Hello everyone, I am back again with another video of this style, right? I mean, don't get too used to it. I'm not gonna be complaining forever. I mean, yes, I will. That's kind of what I do. But I'm here to um, well, a lot of things really. To talk about a lot of things. I'm here to talk about um, still um, reasons behind me being kicked and other things regarding decisions that the people um, above in the game have been making, and yeah, I'm here to criticize them and to well to show you all of this and to talk to you about all of this because I figured it would be important um, to let the players know what actually is happening, right? Um, in the previous video, I didn't say too much. I talked about why I was kicked and all that, a few more things. But now I have a bit more info, and that's why I'm here. It would be cool if this video managed to reach InnoGames, someone in there, and yeah, I am not here to create any sort of problems, right? I'm here to bring up some pain points and to ask for some answers, right? First of all, a few things that I would like to say. Se preferirem ver este vídeo em português, está na descrição o link para um vídeo em português também, gravado igual. Was just saying that people in Portuguese can also watch it elsewhere in the description. Other thing is that everything I say here, and as I will try to do throughout the video, should be verifiable outside of the game, and none of this has anything to do with necessarily me being a part of the administration or of the support, right, on the Italian server, as I was, and I was. The first point will be about that because it will be regarding me being kicked out still, but the rest should not have anything to do with that, and can be observations that are made by players. That they are not. They do not require you to have any sort of insider information, and I obviously I cannot show this sort of inside information regardless because I mean I don't know how this might still affect me, right? But if you are a part of the support, you have to agree to not share things that come from outside of the admin tools, things like that. So I will attempt my best during this video to not mention anything like that, and if I do any sort of information that maybe is not accessible to players, well, at this point I might not even know where that info comes from, right? But well, I have plenty of people that are still big friends of mine, and still are a part of the support or a part of well, community managers, right? So I don't know. There may be things that because I have like a sort of a script for this, but nothing is extremely forced, right? I'm just going through topics, and I might talk about things that maybe are not so immediate. So let's begin. Let's begin talking about me being kicked, right? Let's begin talking about me being kicked. So the real reason, as you will have heard if you watched my previous video, the real reason I was given for me being kicked out of the support team was that I used the script alien map, the script that allows me to collect barbarians into the farm assistant. You have, I mean, if you are familiar with my videos, you surely have seen that script before. I can quickly show you the script as well, but it's something extremely simple, right? It's a script that you come here and you can use it to to collect new barbarians to the farm assistant. I'll show you that quickly. It's just this. It shows this, and yeah, okay, it needs account premium, but whatever. You get the idea. It allows me to send attacks like this without having to click the village and all that. So it is against the .NET rules, as I always mention, because it skips one step. Because if you were to do that normally without using that script, you would have to click on the village and you would have to click on the A button, right? So effectively, this script skips some steps, and hence why it is not legal on .NET. And I've always said that, and yeah. So the reason, the immediate reason as to why I was kicked in theory was this. But let's tackle some more things, right? Because since then, I've heard from well, sources, right, that the real reason as to why I got kicked is because allegedly I had been using the tools, the administration tools, to make illegal scripts, which, if you know me, you're probably laughing right now, because I have no experience of coding whatsoever. I have no, like, I don't know, I can't code, right? And I was also accused of being a cheater, like, in general, right? So let's see, I mean, if you have known me for a while, and I do plan on making a video still about my entire history in the game. But if you have known me for a while, you will know that I was indeed a cheater back then, a few years ago, 3 years ago potentially, something like that. But that has long changed. Let's see. I mean, I have a ton of YouTube videos here, and I have the videos that I used farm bots and illegal things. I have them all private. Maybe at some point I might make them public, just for like history purposes. But the reality is that I have not used anything illegal in a long time. I'm trying to reach. This is nothing to do with Tribal Wars. I'm trying to reach anything related to cheating. These are all public. Everything that is public is public. You can see I did not cheat in any of that. Okay, so these should be cheating. So in like 3 years and a half or something like that, I have not cheated, which does make sense. I mean, I have said exactly that multiple times. This one is unlisted, whatever. But my point is, yes, I did cheat at this time. I was using farm bots, right? But that is not who I am anymore. And at this time, first of all, I was much younger, which is a problem. I mean, young people do dumb shit, and I mean, that's quite obvious. And I have changed since then. Obviously, I mean, you can verify it. Anything after that, I am like playing fully legal. This, I mean, I don't know. This is from 2 years and a half ago, something like that. And I'm already playing with keypress, playing totally normally. Only on one tab right now, because it was not very common to play on 2 tabs at this time. But anyway, my proof here is that I have not cheated for a while, right? And I have never hidden that that I've cheated in the past, right? But the thing is, they have used this against me, the potential fact that I might have cheated in the past, as if it was something that people didn't know or something like that. I don't know. But the reality is, it's not a secret. I have cheated in the past, yes. I don't anymore. So that's something that doesn't make sense. And by the way, I in no way, like, I don't promote any sort of use of illegal scripts, and everyone who may have ever talked to me, really, you will know that. So it makes absolutely no sense for InnoGames to claim that I was using the admin tools to make illegal scripts or things like that. I mean, you will even see where's my video, my big video of scripts, scripts Tribal Wars. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna play through it now, But, I mean, this has 6k views, right? And it's all showing legal scripts. There's the map farm script here, and I am pretty sure that throughout the video I talk about the script not being legal. I'm pretty sure. And then I pin it here. I can also add now, it is also legal in Hungary and Czechia. Because it's true. It is legal on those servers, and it can be verified. You can check the forum, and you would eventually find a topic saying that that script is legal. So the reality is, even if you were to consider this a big cheating offense, which doesn't really make much sense because it's legal in some servers, right? And I literally have proof of people inside support teams that that use bots, so it's not a matter of this. But even if you were to consider this as a big cheat, I always mention it. I mean, even here, look, there's the speed server, right, that I manage. Where's the script chat? Well, what does it say here? It says, look, only legal on IT and on CZ. It's not updated. Okay, whatever. CZ and HQ. It's not updated. But yeah, it clearly is written here. People, if they use it at their own risk. And the reality is, I was not banned in game for using this script. And, I mean, if there was any problem with using this script, I could easily just be messaged by people above Ricardo, right? I mean, I'm mentioning his name because you can indeed verify that he is the person above the community managers. If you ask like a community manager, I believe they are legally required to tell you and give you contact of someone who is above them. So yeah, that's Ricardo. And it does not make sense that he may use this as a proof against me in any way, because, well, especially since, well, I'm not even a part of the moderation in this server. So if I were to be punished on this server, I would be banned in the round, on .NET, right? And funny thing is that they always say that you cannot use external proof as a reason to ban people. So let's see what happened. Let's see what happened in this video, right? Where I had 800 views. Let's see. Oh, right? This is funny. For you seeing this, you surely do not know what this means, right? But what this means is it tells me the well, where the traffic on my video originated from. So basically, where people found my video. And here, Mattermost, this is the chat application that the company uses to have their employees talk to one another, right? So this is clear proof that they used an external proof to do something, right? To kick me out, which is, I mean, in theory, it is not legal, right? They always say that you can't use external proof to kick people out. They always say that they can only use things they see inside the game, and yet, I mean, there was clearly a few people that saw this coming from the administration of the game, and they just kicked me out. It's like with this, they had some sort of proof to say that I, for some reason, make illegal scripts and I abuse the admin tools, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you can literally go verify. Most of the rounds that I play, I record, so that's already something. And then, I mean, you can go through those rounds and you can see that I'm not doing anything different from what I usually do, right? I'm just using the legal scripts that I mentioned on that first video that I showed you, and I am, well, I'm just playing the game normally, right? So, yeah, and something that also doesn't make sense is that I have played before on .NET a lot of times, and I also have used that script before. So it's not something new, me using that script. Let's see, August of 2023. I've used that script before. So if that really was a problem, and if they had seen it, they could just have talked to me, right? And they could have told me, well, don't use that script. And That would be totally fine. Yeah, you see, I'm using it here. So it's that thing. If that was a real problem, I wouldn't mind stopping the use of the script, right? If I was told to. But how do they handle it? They just kick me out. And well, I could potentially admit that that could make sense, right? If I was someone who did like nothing for the game, as well, there are plenty of people in the support team who are like that, sadly. But well, I mean, as you can easily verify, right? Well, I am literally the only person making content regarding speeds in Tribal Wars. And realistically, even if you look for Tribal Wars and you look for more recent content, let's see, Tribal Wars. Italian admins. Let's see. Okay, this is like, seems like a good video. But you have like mostly Brazilian content. Nothing in English or nothing like recent in English. So yeah, there's no content for English speakers, and I'm feeling that gap, and even people like this guy who make videos in English in Portuguese. Look, his most recent video 12 hours ago, automatic recruitment tribal wars, and yeah, they do not ban this guy, right? So as you can see, the biggest people out there, well, they're mostly not English speakers, and then there's like no one filling this gap that I am filling, making videos in English. So, yeah, it would be very easy for them to just, well, before anything else, or just message me, write about it, and have a direct conversation about it. And, well, even if they didn't want to, they could just look me up and look what I've actually been doing, and they would easily find that I have the Discord server for speeds, that I incentivize people to play illegally there, that all of that happens, and that I've done a ton for the game. Well, I mean, that can easily be verified. Just come here, come to speed rounds, come to this, and you have a ton of like duck making rounds. You have special events all from me and from the community manager. Like, we have done a lot of things, and there is no way to disprove that. However, it clearly doesn't matter much. And also, funny thing, right? Remember how I mentioned that they can't use proof from outside of the game to ban people? Well, let's see. This guy is playing? Okay, not playing in this round, this video. But let's see. Let's go this video, for example. He has everything blurred so that you can't see the account name. But you can see that it is in Brazilian Classic 2, and you can see the hour of the server, right? So it would still be fairly easy for the team to actually get him banned, because they could see the actions matching the actions at this time, right? So it would be very easy for the team to ban him if they were actually banning people that are cheating and using external proof. But in theory, they can't use external proof, right? Well, however, well, you saw what happened on the video that I've shown you. So, yeah, the rules clearly are different depending on who you are. That seems pretty clear to me, which is very questionable, and yeah, I really would like to get an answer on that one, because that doesn't seem very normal to me. Anyway, with all of this being said, and to finish this topic, I would really like to know, because after all of this, where's the proof of me making illegal bots? Where's the proof of me cheating recently, beyond what I've already shown here, and that I have never refused showing anyone, right? If anyone came to me and asked me if I cheated in the past or some shit like that, I would obviously say yes, and I would never be scared to show what I've done in the past. I mean, I could like hide it, but it wouldn't help me in any way. It doesn't matter. at this point. I am in no way promoting cheats of any kind nowadays, so there's no reason to hide what happened in the past, right? There's absolutely no reason. So yeah, that is one topic then, and it's that thing. Where's the proof of me doing whatever they may allegedly say I do? Because none of it makes much sense, and well, it seems to me like it's a matter of just showing force, right, and kicking someone out because they can, and not actually having much when it comes to proof, or even like a reason, right? Because I don't. It doesn't make sense for me to be taken out. I mean, at least in my opinion, right? I am doing a ton of things to make the game better, and I even have this planned here. My history as speed admin. There's this video, and I plan on releasing it sometime soon. And there you will, if you have the patience to sit for 1 hour and 40 or whatever it will be, you will hear more about things that I've done, things that I've tried to do, and that should give you a pretty long backstory as to, well, just things I've attempted to do over my year and a half of being a part of the team. So yeah, I'm not someone who was just there doing nothing, right? So it really makes no sense that they would take out someone who is literally trying to help them, right? Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, going on to the next topic, and this is just to show you, maybe you are a player who has not played in a long time, maybe, I don't know, whatever your connection to the game may be. I believe it is important that you are made aware of the people that left us in this past year and will now leave in 2024. So, as you may have seen in some servers, the community manager is retiring, or leaving, or got kicked, or whatever, right? The reality is that it doesn't matter that, however it was, like, if they were kicked or if they were... In reality, that doesn't really matter, in my opinion, right? Because what can actually be seen is good people that did a lot for the game getting kicked out or leaving, right? So CC, my community manager, he is leaving. I believe there are 4 more community managers that are leaving. I believe so. One of them is the Bookman, the community manager of UK, and this is info that you can find. I don't think here, but he has talked about it on the UK Discord server, so you can indeed verify that that he is leaving, or well, he is not going to be a part of the community management anymore, and he was there for very long. The Bookman is someone who has been there for very long, and also more people who left. Let's see, Hungary. Where are speeds in Hungary? They're gone. There's nothing. Why? Because Noob Leader is out, and Novely will also be out, but Noob Leader is out. There's no activity when it comes to anyone here in the forum, right? Except for the community manager sometimes putting the things, the new updates. So yeah, I mean, before you would go to, let's see, where's speed, and there was an insane amount of activity here, right? Because Noob Leader was making tournaments, coming up with really nice ideas, and now he's also out. So that's -1. And if those guys until now they were completely meaningless to you, well, let's look at bigger things, right? In .NET 2023, in mid 2023, we had Jojo leaving. You surely have heard of Jojo if you play this game for a while now. So yeah, he left, changed his community manager in community management. He also left this year, and and well, with him leaving, ton of things have um, stopped happening. You probably know, last 2 years or three, I believe, there was the international tournament where they opened like a classic round and they invited everyone from every single server to come play. This year that didn't happen. Jojo is not here anymore, so no one's gonna do that. And even here in the ideas and improvements chat now, area of the forum, right? The topics that you put here have to be made public by the community management, and well, as you can see, the last one that is here is from May 25, and well, nothing has happened yet. How this works is pretty simple. If you have an idea that gets more than 75% in favor of it, it will be put into submitted and in progress, or like being processed, something like that. Yeah, here things that passed the player vote. So they would be put here, and then potentially they would be done, right? But even the ones that are submitted and in progress, like they are from 3 years ago, right? Most of them, and being processed, there are 16 pages of being processed, I believe, each one with 11. Let me see, 3, 6, 9, yeah, 11. So a ton of good ideas are like lost here, right? And well, with Jojo now out, they will realistically never happen, which is pretty sad. It's pretty sad, but it also just goes to show that well, one very important person left the game. One more, right? And if we go to Germany, it's the same thing. Jojo had been here for a while. He also built the .NET Discord server from zero. Like he was .NET. He was literally .NET. And in Germany as well. Let's look. Let's look announcements. It was Antimacht. He was the community manager, and he also decided to leave, or for whatever reason he left, right? And he was here for a long amount of time. Just community manager, last 5 years, something like that. So as you can see, there's a lot of people that that were here for a long time, really long time, and they have just left. And it's not like the random people. It's not like some random community manager or some small server. That doesn't matter. It's literally the community managers of the biggest servers, right? I don't know about Poland. I have no clue. Poland is also a really big server, but yeah, I mean, maybe the community manager here also changed, right? I don't think so. No, it looks like not. But still, two community managers, really big community managers, got out. And if you want to know a funny thing, I mean, well, three, right? If I were to consider CC as well, because those three community managers were the only people who actually were talking to the developers, or like suggesting things to be changed. I mean, I showed you in .NET the ideas and improvements forum, and now nothing happens there anymore. So yeah, we lost people that were the ones realistically to actually be moving things, or making things move, right? So it really seems like InnoGames prefers people that don't really care about the game. Because look, if let's consider they left, right? Or no, let's consider that they left. There is literally no reason for any community manager to leave, because at least from a player perspective, what seems that community managers have to do is, well, make worlds. That's kind of what it seems like you have to do, like make worlds, answer tickets. Because I mean, if you go, like, I don't know, let's say some random server, like let's go like to France, whatever. Like, you don't have much activity when it comes to farm, and if you do, it has nothing to do with the community manager, right? It's mostly well, here is the community manager, right? That's her, but the reality is that it doesn't seem like the community manager does that much. And I mean, this is a trend in most of the servers. You will only see the community manager being really active, like here in Italy. I mean, you have CC commenting on a lot of threads. Hard, right? He's also leaving. So yeah, it really seems like there is no real reason for anyone to leave the community manager role, since I mean, you do get paid. So yeah, you are an employee of the company, and it doesn't seem like you have to do that much, right? Because I mean, if you had to do more, and if you actually had to manage the community, you would expect every server to have like an active and moderated by the staff, right? Discord server, you would expect every community to be trying to like push new initiatives, cool things, push speeds, push forum events, things like that. Only a few do that. Only a few do that. So it really doesn't make much sense that they would replace that community managers would leave on their own, right? And funny thing, all these community managers left after Ricardo joined as the lead community manager, as the person who is above the community managers. Is that a coincidence? Well, I will leave that for you to decide, right? But you know what I mean. So you have all of these good and impactful people in the game leaving or being kicked out or what? Not relevant. Um, During this year and since Ricardo joined as a community manager. So that is really big. It's a really big thing because I mean he joined lead community manager, I believe, in this year. I can't verify this. I'm not sure, but I mean I will talk about something later, and and you will also hear more about that. But the settings of the worlds changed significantly from one specific point to another, and that is a big indication of the change in the lead community manager, because the lead community manager is who approves the settings for worlds. They can say no or yes to the community managers. The community managers suggest settings, and then they can say yes or no. Basically, I mean you can verify this easily on your own. You can like even go here. Let's see. There was a topic that I read at some point about a suggestion regarding a world. Let me see if I can find. Not sure I can find, but there was a topic that was made, and it was regarding suggestions of the of the players regarding a world. So it's weird that I cannot find it, but they were told that the suggestion could be passed on. Oh, this is the PT server, right? My bad. I'm on the wrong place. That makes sense. I will show you the proof just so it doesn't seem like I am speaking out of my ass, basically. She says, yeah, I can consider that kind of suggestions. Taking into consideration that considering it doesn't imply that the same is approved, right? So it clearly shows that there is something above, right? And then it confirms what I was saying. That there is something above that has to approve the world settings. And so, as I was saying, the world settings are a big reflection of what the person above the community managers actually allows them to do, right? But that is basically all I wanted to talk about for this topic. I already extended myself here. Let's go on to the next one. Now this point still is in many ways related to the previous one, right? In the previous one I mentioned that all of these good community managers are leaving, or well, I don't know. Well, you know what I mean by this point. It's not a matter of being kicked or leaving on their own. It's just they're out, right? And I mean, the reality is that these people were responsible for the growth of the game. Most of these, right? So I mentioned in Italy, right? In Italy, The last world has 1.2k people. Wait, no, this is the new. No, never mind. What? Oh, it's opening today. Okay, I get it. So let's see how many people in pre-registration there is now. Let's see. 755. Okay. I mean, more people will still join because not everyone joins in pre-registration. But the reality is, from a numbers perspective, the Italian server grew a lot since CC joined as community manager, and now he's leaving, right? So this is clear proof that, well, this was a mistake, right? Because I mean, you don't simply kick out or like you don't incentivize someone who incentivate is not a real word. You don't like back someone up to like leave the company if they are a good thing for the company, right? I mean, if we go back, speeds are a good example of that, and classic worlds too. Back then, I'm sure, almost sure there were like no classic worlds, and even let's see the announcements. Let's see, here. Oh, but these are like a lot of them are like archived, I guess. I don't know. Let me see. This is like worlds, right? And here you see a lot of like classics, things like that. If we go, yeah, if we go to the Ashton era, it was always only worlds. There was like no classics, nothing happening, and we totally revived that. Classic round 2, there's like one round. But anyway, the whole point of this is with CC we have grown the server a lot. We have made the number of players go up, and I mean this can be verified here as well. Going into TW speeds, seeing the monthly standings, and let's see how many people participated in speeds this month. Yeah, January 2024. There have been 9 days only. So let's compare January 2024 to like January 2022 when CC was not yet a part of the community management. There's 266 people. Sure, not all of them like played, right? They joined, but anyway, this shows that they are active at least. And these are like individual participants. Like this doesn't account for if a player joined the round twice. I mean, it does in the statistics, but not in the name, right? So let's look at 2022-01. Let's see how many people joined. Let's see, it's still loading. And by the way, we are comparing 9 days to 30 days. That's something important. I don't know what's gonna appear here, but let's see. 407. So there are, I mean, there are, let's see, 407, 250. There are like 60% more, something like that, right? And those 60% more come from wait, no, I'm wrong. Wait, no, 2021 I'm pretty sure he was already here, CC. Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm comparing it wrongly. But in any way, this clearly shows some growth, right? In 9 days, and it's very early in the day, so it's like it's basically 8 days. If we have only like 60% less than we had in 2022. This clearly shows that there was a growth in the server. But let's look 2021. Well, let's look at 2020-07. That's like the last recording of. I mean, maybe that's not even a full month. Let's compare to 06-2022, 2020, because this is like the last full month of rounds, I suppose, on IT with Ashton. And you'll see. I mean, the comparison is the same as to what I was saying. Let's compare this to another full month. Let's compare to well, December 2023. Let's compare the number. We had 400 there in a full month. Here we have 530. That's a pretty significant increase, and I'm pretty sure I could come up with like months where more people played. I don't know. I mean, I could keep browsing this forever, right? But the point will always be the same. There was a clear growth, at least in speeds, right? In worlds as well. I can tell you there has been a growth. Like again, same number or very similar. So this shows you clearly that there was a pretty big growth, and well, you have to take into consideration that 2020 a lot more people were playing, right? It was the beginning of COVID, a lot of people were at home, so I mean maybe if I go 2019, 12, there will be even less players because this month was like more normal. Maybe there's a good amount of people because it's like holiday season, but still, you you understand what I mean. Um, at a point where more people were playing the game in theory, right? Because there have been 4 years since. At that point, there were less players than there are now, which is absolutely fucking insane. It clearly shows that the Italian server has managed to grow somehow, right? Somehow, because if you go to any other server basically and you look at their players, you look at the player count. I don't know if TW Stats allows you to do that. Let me see. TW Stats, does it allow you to see the player count? This is like the players at the end of the world. It doesn't allow you to see the player count. It would be nice, but this is the pre-registration. But yeah, it doesn't seem to allow you to see like the total archive something. No, I don't know. I don't think there is a way to see the total number of players. But regardless, the trend is that the number of players is going down, and in Italy we managed to reverse that. And I am sure that potentially in .NET and on DE maybe there may be something similar to that with Giorgio and with Antimacht back then. Nowadays, I am not too confident they will ever manage to pull something like that off, right? So that is something, and it's pretty sad, right? Because we did a really good job at reviving a dead game, literally dead, and well, the people who are responsible for that are now out. So doesn't really give me a lot of hope for the future, right? And that is the ending of this topic. So the next topic right now is regarding their current plans to get new community managers, right? Because if you look at it, there are no applications open for community managers yet. And we have known for a while that a lot of community managers have been kicked out or left, right? And will leave in 14th, 15th of January, something like that. So it seems like currently Ricardo has been having the plan of bringing community managers from other games to Tribal Wars. So let's say, for example, for Italy, right? We know the community manager is getting out. There have been attempts at getting community managers from other games of InnoGames, like Grepolis, Tribal Wars 2, things like that, to come be the community manager of Tribal Wars, which is strange. It's just strange because, first of all, it is said that the community managers mostly should have only one project, because I mean it totally makes sense, right? It's by having one project only that they can truly focus on it, especially considering that being a part of the community management is a part-time job, right? So they are not fully dedicating their lives to it, and if they were only dedicating part-time to, well, more than one server, right? The server would maybe just be inactive, right? So you would expect that to be the case. Only one community manager, only one project per community manager. But the reality is that increasingly nowadays there's a lot of people in the community management that are community managers in Tribal Wars, in Tribal Wars 2, maybe in Greypolis or whatever. So my point is, it seems like they are pushing hard for, instead of getting new people who may be really interested in the game, they are just, well, possibly to save costs, they are just taking community managers from other servers, other games, I mean, and putting them to manage games that they potentially have never even heard of, right? Which is, I mean, it's sad if you think about it, because you are attempting to give someone a role on something that they don't even know at all. And one thing is, I mean, if there was like potential interest on one of these people to actually learn more about the game, or if like they played it before and now they would be like kind of excited to come back, but we don't know if that's the case, right? And that's also why I have such a negative view of what is going to come next, because they are not opening up applications for regular players like me and you to become community managers, people that actually know about the game and that actually would like to see the game thrive. They are just internally selecting people from other servers to come to Tribal Wars, basically, which is it's sad, because surely there's a lot of people potentially wanting to be community managers, and I do not believe that the money they might save with, well, instead of paying one new community manager, maybe they pay a little bit more to that other community manager that is on the other game. Like, I don't believe that money difference makes up for the potential loss that there may be inside of the game by having like a worse community manager, right? Because with CC, as I was exploring here, there were a lot more people active. So I mean, you would assume that there's a lot more people spending time, money in the game, which is good for the company, right? So yeah, but well, if they are to follow this strategy of picking someone from other games, it doesn't seem like there's a potential growth trend here. It really just intensifies the idea that this game is dead, and that all they're doing here is milking it as much as they can, and getting the potential money that they might still be able to. Which is, I mean, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, because there are plenty of people who may be interested in trying to change the game for the better, and well, that's not the route they want to take. Now let's stop talking necessarily about the community managers and all that part. Let's talk directly about the change of the lead community manager. As I mentioned before, there was a change, right? And from that change, a lot seems to have gone to shit, realistically. And, well, one of the big changes was that the community managers, well, they had a good amount of freedom back then, I would say. But now they are extremely restricted when it comes to making settings. I mean, you can see that in by that forum topic that I've shown you on PT of the community managers saying that things still have to be approved and things like that. And even if you go look, let's see, let's look in Italy, right? Let's look World 75. You have like these random numbers, right? Which is like quite cool. It's like, it's different. Then 78. Also, like, there's a good amount of barbs. This world was pretty big. It lasted a long amount of time, was pretty competitive. Suppose a lot of people spent money on events, things like that. Let's look at World 80 though. 150 150. Still, this one was less competitive. But then looking at World 81 and onwards, looks like there was an imposed limit on number of barbarians per player, right? And I'm not saying there was or wasn't, because that would be information that I would potentially have gathered from being a part of the administration, right? So I'm not going to confirm anything. I'm just showing you what is actually happening. But if I go in any server, you will see that the trend is pretty similar. So let's see, 95, 50-50, 94, 50-50. This is 5% each. What the fuck? Anyway, you have probably seen what I mean here. There seems to have been a restriction when it comes to this world. 5%. What? This looks like it was changed, right? It had to have been changed, the settings. There are way too few players for the number of barbs, I feel like. I don't know. But anyway, it is possible to change those settings after. But regardless, truth is, seems like there is some limit. Although nowadays it seems like the limit may be different. This is not the current world. It's this one. Seems like it may be 150, because if you go to other servers, it's always 150. See here, 84, also 150 maximum. So it seems like they are being limited, right? It's as if for some reason the number of barbarians was a problem in any way, which it isn't. It only potentially would be a problem if InnoGames wanted to like spend less money on the servers and make them worse, which I don't think is necessarily happening, right? There are plenty of servers with a ton of barbarians. So let's look at the classics, right? This one has 3. This one has this one has 1 as well. But if we look at PT, let's look at PT again. If you look at Classic 1, there's 20 barbs per player. Classic 2, there's 15. So there clearly is like a weird and forced setting specifically for worlds, right? That in classics or in anywhere else, it doesn't apply. So the potential theory of, well, it will break the server, it simply doesn't work here, because it doesn't break the other servers. It wouldn't break a world, right? So yeah, and even if you look at it, right, let's see, for example, PT dominance. Let's look at 95 dominance, 94 dominance, 93. Are you seeing the trend here? It's all dominance. There are plenty more winning conditions, and here potentially there may be. Never mind, this is dominance. Let's look at 78. Okay, also dominance, I think. Yeah, dominance. It's because the world is over. So there's a weird trend of just making dominance. It's like the default. It's like default settings, which is sad, because there are plenty of different win conditions. Maybe if I go on .net I can find some. I'm not sure. But let's see a funny thing here on .net. This world or this, I'm not sure. Like, well, there's one of these. Look, this one as well. You can see the big change here. March. This was still in March under Jojo. Like we have 430, so 4.3 abandoned villages per player. Then in the world after, there's already a maximum of 125, so 1.5 per player. Then here 150. Yeah, so you can clearly see this trend of sort of making all the rounds look the same, right? Although it doesn't necessarily have to be forced, right? Look at this. This is like a cool, like sort of random settings, right? This is what is cooler about the game, because you can come up with different things, and yeah, I'm still trying to look for different win conditions than fucking domination. Okay, right, this one, right? This one has something that is not domination. That it has the runes, but why isn't that used in more servers? Well, in Italy, I'm almost sure it is because there was some sort of limitation from above. Because if you look at it, in the beginning, the community manager here was making some polls let's see. Discussions. Yeah, look, you can see here some polls regarding settings in worlds, things like that. And this could all be done back then. Actually, this is October 2023. That's not bad. That is already under the new community manager. But you will see that this is very standard settings. And back then, if I can find it, right? There were things like these, but for every single world, basically. So it was much better. There were plenty of things to choose from back then for the players. And now it seems like this is simply not possible anymore. I mean, this trend of making polls. Look, April 2023. This was around the time I am assuming Ricardo joined as lead community manager. So this is June. After June, there's nothing. We go from 78 to 81. So it was like a big jump of worlds, because those worlds were probably more tightly controlled, I would assume, right? So it really seems like the potential cool settings that worlds could have are just being limited by the people who are above, which is like weird, because what makes this game cool is the variation of settings. What makes people want to play is the worlds being different, right? Because if everything was the same, I mean, sure, you might like play for the enemies. Yeah, you have like good enemies you want to play, but I mean, if everything is always the same, it gets boring and you just leave. So there is no reason for this to happen, and it does. So there's this limitation, and yeah, that's quite weird. And well, that's that. The next topic, and we are now nearing the end, is regarding specifically the PT server and BR servers, right? Because first of all, those are the servers that I mostly came from, that I mostly played on, because I'm Portuguese, and a lot of shady stuff happens in there. Let's take a look at it and let's go through some things. First of all, here, who's the community manager in this server? Ricardo. He is the community manager. Although he is also the lead community manager, so the person who is above the community managers. So he's like above himself in this case. And he has been here for a very long time. Very long time. It seems like he has been community manager since forever. But let's see. What has he done? What has he talked about in the forum? Updates, events, updates, events, whatever. Events, updates. This is all events and updates. There's nothing here. This is announcements of like this was the Ukraine announcement. This was the speed tournament. What? This makes no sense. Why does it type that it is a speed? It's not a speed tournament. It was the .NET tournament. It's just weird, right? And even in his versions, look, this is a spelling mistake in 2022, and if you go back, you will see it still. And now 2024, right? Still the same spelling mistake. It's quite funny. But even if I go here, look, I'm in 2019. There's like him putting world settings. That's like different, right? But apart from that, there's still nothing. There's like world opening. There's updates. This is like tutorials. They made it so everyone had to publish this in every server. It's like it's all updates. There's no connection of the community manager with the community. So what is he managing? He's managing himself. from the beginning of time. You see what I mean here, right? This is weird. It's a community manager that is not managing the community. So de facto, if you look at it, who actually does things is Allura. And I mean, it's not like she engages a lot with the community here, but she also like talks a bit more, right? She's like saying we can't do something, that's why it was changed, like whatever. Like she actually like talks to the community and she tries to do things. Talking about, but a lot of it is like the default things you would expect, like events and new worlds. But whatever, that's fine. That's what community managers are supposed to do. But as you can see, she's basically the one actually being the community manager. So where's Ricardo? Why is he marked as the community manager? Why isn't Allura paid more for being the community manager of PT? Maybe she is. I don't fucking know. But in any case, why community manager Ricardo? Why? It doesn't, like, he does nothing basically. So that's something, right? And the other thing, as this is, I mean, as you have seen, this is the closest server to the LCM, to the lead community manager. Let's see how they approach some things, right? Let's look at, and I talked about this in the previous video, I will not spend much time on this. But let's look at this announcement. What does it say in the announcement? It says that now new settings can be added in speedruns, and the new start level has been added. And it says that you can now use Watchtower, Church, Moral, Militia. Why is he saying that we can now use this in speedruns when you always could use it in speedruns? Since always. It's like they are... I don't know if this was all written by him. If that's the case, if he wrote this by himself, then there is... I mean, I can't like blame people above him for doing this, right? The speed admin can act on his own, but I would assume that this went through someone on top. And why is it written that now we can add these new settings and now we added a new start level? You can make any sort of start level you would like, and you can add all the settings you have in Worlds. There's no thing of, okay, we added new settings. They have always been possible to use. So, I mean, surely, from this, what I may conclude is that they are like hiding from players what is actually possible and isn't. Which, me as a player, I tried a lot to do a lot of changes back then. Meanwhile, all the topics have been archived, but if I go to the archive, you will see a lot of like concepts of ideas, tournaments, things like that. And I mean, most of the times it was all just ignored, archived, done nothing about. And in the end, I mean, now, how many people do you actually have commenting regarding speed? You have like me sometimes, like commenting on what the changes they're doing. So they completely killed the community by doing nothing. I do like that now there's like things being done, and props to them, definitely. But like now it's too late, and this like weird behavior of announcing things that have always been possible. It's like weird. Is this what the company wants? I'm confused. And also to back up that claim of community managers being community manager in more than one place. I mean, here you have Allura. She is de facto the community manager. But if you go on BR, you have Allura again. I already showed you Allura before. As Allura community manager. And you have in Tribal Wars 2 as well. You have Allura community manager too. So you have her everywhere as a community manager. So yeah, that thing of this is not an attack on her in any way, definitely not. But it's that thing, that policy of okay, well, people should only be community manager in one place. that's not really true. And I mean, I showed Alura just like I could show someone else instead. There are other community managers. I just showed this because I'm here and I was showing pity. So is this like how they want to manage the game? Like it looks weird to me. That these are the things that they say. I mean, like, international speed tournament. This is nothing to do with speed. It's like it's weird. It shows that there is a lack of knowledge from who is above regarding the game itself, and why? Why? Especially when there are people who have over the years shown interest in helping and in making the game better, but they were just ignored basically. And I mean, it's just sad to see. It's sad to see a place where I've invested so much time just be left to die basically. But that's it for this topic. Well, now to conclude all of this mess, what can we conclude out of this? First of all, I am left with two questions. Is this what InnoGames really wants the game to be, and is this what the players really want to see? Is this what you would expect from this game? Because I mean, in my view, there is still a lot of potential in the game, and that's why I've invested so much time into it, right? And it's just sad seeing the point that it's at right now, with pretty bad management, at least in my opinion, and with all of these like little weird things happening, right? And I mean, there are more things that I know of, but if I were to talk about them here, I would be in big trouble. You know the Jose Mourinho meme. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. It's that. So these are already like a few things, and the video is pretty long. And if you sat through all of it, that's already something. And well, to conclude, right? There is a general lack of transparency in the game. Really big lack of transparency. Let's compare this game. Sure, it's a browser game. It's a game that is old, etc., etc. But let's compare it to more modern and more popular games, right? Let's think, for example, about League of Legends. Well, if you go on YouTube, League of Legends, you literally have a dev video, like 3 days ago, literally 3 days ago, dev video of the devs coming out and talking about changes, talking about things that they want to do for the game in this year, like potential changes of everything in the game. In Tribal Wars, does that even happen? Did you even know about Ricardo before I mentioned him and said he's the lead community man? Did you even know who he was? I mean, it's not hidden. You can find it out. But had you even heard of him before? I mean, you can type it down below in the comments. Let me know. But I'm sure the answer for most of you will be no, because, well, it's not shown anywhere. But in reality, it's those people that have a lot of power in the game and that can decide what the future of it is, right? So what I would like to see is, well, if somehow someone in InnoGames actually is listening to this, which, I mean, it would be like revolutionary in my opinion, but I mean, guess I can still hope. It would be something nice to have the people above coming out and saying what they actually have done, or like plans for the future of the game, like making a video. You can add like subtitles in the different languages of the game, like something like this. You can do this. You can do a ton of things to tell the players that, well, first of all, the community managers are not the people to blame, because most of the community managers are the ones that have to deal with people complaining about things. Sure, sometimes they can be blamed, but the reality is that the main big changes of the game, they cannot be related in any way to community managers. So that is a thing, and well, players do think that everything is the community manager's fault. And well, with all of this, and to conclude, I can only say that I am definitely available for any sort of conversation if there is um, any sort of willingness to talk to players from the people above. Like it would be great, Ricardo or someone else above. Um, it would be great if you would like to come out. Let's have a nice talk, a civilized talk. I mean, I have no interest in anything else, right? I like this game, I really do, and I would like to see it thrive. So let's come together. Let's discuss these things. Let's discuss other topics and the future of the game. Potentially, what uh, other things that may come to mind, and let's do this. Let's do this conversation. Let's make a podcast, and then let's talk to the players. Let's tell them what's actually going on. And I believe this would be very relevant, and it would be great. It would really be great. Um, and yeah, I think that is about that. That's about all I can do to you as a player. Well, likely this will not change your maybe will not change your perspective on the game, but the reality is that there are a lot of shady things in here, and well, if these were to reach InnoGames themselves, I think it would be great for everyone, right? So maybe spread around the message. Tell your tribe mates about this. Maybe like, I don't know, tell the people in the forum about this. I don't know. However you would have the means to share this idea around, right? Just to raise questions, because if people don't speak out, if people don't make questions, don't ask questions, the game is just gonna keep going on its downward path. And I mean, if you are like me, someone who really likes this game, you don't want the game to go on a downward path. The game is nice, the game is fun, but currently, at least in my opinion, and in the opinion of many other people, it simply is not being managed that well. But that's totally fine if the company wants to improve how they handle things, which I mean, totally fine. However, if they don't want to, well, they are definitely free to do so, but the trend of the game is not really going to get much better. But yeah, that's all I had to say here. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I'm always down for any conversation with people above. Would be great, honestly. And that is all, honestly. That is all. So, well, I will see you eventually on another video. Um, I hope this cleared up any sort of like questions that may still have existed, especially regarding me being kicked out of the stuff. And yeah, I hope you all are doing great, and I will see you in the next video at some point. I don't know when, but well, there will eventually be a next one. Yeah, I'm a bit occupied with exams, so yeah, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually it will happen. Bye bye.